going on, dudes and dudettes? So yeah, I was kind of hoping that on my birthday we'd get a USC football commitment announcement from, say, a player like Eddrick who is announcing today. But we got pretty much surprised by a player in the year 2026. So he's only a sophomore right now, but he has decided to choose the Trojans and commit way early, and there might be a reason for that because he is considered not only the number one player, even though he's a 4-star, but I'm sure he will be a 5-star at that time, whenever that time comes, because he is considered one of the more generational type of quarterbacks right now in that year. But he is also the number one player, number one quarterback, and he is looking to maybe reclassify into the year 2025. Usually football players don't do that as much. It's usually basketball players that reclassify and play a year sooner and he might go into the 2025 class. So maybe that's why he is committing so early compared to 2 years in advance. Because I don't know, whenever guys commit this early, you always heard me say I always have like trepidation and kind of worry about it. But if he is reclassifying and coming in sooner, still going to have Malachi Nelson playing there, especially if Miller Moss decides to finally leave and go somewhere else and play right away instead of being in another competition with a younger guy in Malachi Nelson. Then, we'll see what happens. But yeah, either way, it's already done a lot of great stuff. Even his NIL evaluation is up around $475,000 because he's going to be the future quarterback. So he has a chance to be able to make up that certain amount of money if he would like to when it comes to the ads and making money and all that stuff. So it's obviously a good thing to be a quarterback at USC. But yeah, the whole reclassifying thing definitely throws a big time, positive in this situation if it does end up happening, because USC they've been trying to recruit 2024 quarterbacks, but nobody's selected them this recruiting cycle, and then next recruiting cycle they haven't really talked to anybody as well officially. So this might be the reason why he's committing so early and will most likely be reclassifying. It's not 100%. Like I said, it usually doesn't happen with football players, but you never know. So yeah, quarterback Julian Juju Lewis. I don't know if I said his name earlier, but yes, as you've seen from all the pictures, that's who he is. And obviously wanted to come to where he could be prepared better for the NFL, and obviously with a guy like Lincoln Riley and his track record with his Heisman winners at quarterbacks, it's pretty obvious. So yes, definitely some pretty exciting news on my birthday today, August 22nd, and hoping for some more fireworks with Eddrick later in the day, but I'll get to that soon. And yeah, USC has been pretty much off to a nice start this first couple of days of this week. Yesterday they actually announced their new hiring of a new athletic director and Jennifer Cohen, who is the first time USC has hired a woman athletic director in their history. It's only their 10th athletic director as well, so they've had some people stay on for quite a bit. But yeah, this does look like it's going into a nice direction, because she did lead Washington in some pretty good stuff, not only in their sports, but she probably was part of the reason why they are now part of the Big Ten as well. Got that deal done along with Oregon. So she has a nice track record and obviously loves not only football but all the sports programs. And it doesn't look like she's going to get into any bit of trouble or chaos as some of the ex-athletic directors have done. But money makes people change differently, but I don't think she's going to be that type of person. She had a nice speech yesterday as well, being introduced very into this stuff. So definitely very excited to see what her future holds. Congrats to Jennifer Cohen as a new athletic director for USC. And yeah, fight on. And as I mentioned a little bit ago, yes, Eddrick the 5-star defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia, is looking to commit around 3:50 p.m. West Coast time today. He's probably going to be doing it live on 247 Sports, their YouTube channel, but all indications, that's why I kind of wasn't as excited for his announcement, and wasn't really probably going to do a video today other than what happened earlier with Julian Lewis, because it looks like Houston is maybe leaning towards signing with Ohio State. USC is still semi in the running, but he also has other teams like Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, other teams like that. So maybe yeah, it's nice that USC is in the running, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get him as of right now. But, I did hear some other positive news about the other four-star defensive lineman, Jalen Harvey out of Maryland, who might be announcing sometime soon, and another junior college cornerback that could be announcing soon for USC. So overall, it still could help out the 2024 class, even if they don't get the top guys like a Houston or someone else in that five-star category. But yes, I'm hoping for the best because it's my birthday. It probably would only be my birthday wishes if they get Eddrick Houston, and he keeps that commitment all the way till December. But either way, yeah, we'll see what happens, and I probably will talk about that in a short video tomorrow if it does end up happening, because I will be pretty busy later on today. So yeah, we'll see. And then USC football did name a couple of their captains. I believe they named 5 captains total this year. Obviously, the quarterback Caleb Williams was named one. Justin Dedich, their top center. Jonah Monheim, one of the tackles, was named as a captain. And then 2 of their linebackers, Mason Cobb, the transfer, and then Shane Lee, who was a captain as well last year. So it's pretty cool that he still got that captain designation, even though he kind of lost his starting spot to Mason Cobb now transferring in, but he's still an overall good team player and will help out their depth-wise at that linebacker position on the second string. So yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what these guys can bring to the table, and obviously build up the younger players to be able to do what they want to do, is win championships. Mario Williams said they don't expect anything other than championships around here, and Caleb has talked about being in the Final Four recently. So yeah, there's a lot of talk right now, but they have to prove it on the field soon, and soon is coming this Saturday. So we'll see. House of Victory has had a couple of signings the past days or so. They did sign Gino Quinones the other day, the offensive lineman, who's been becoming like he could either start or be one of the first second stringers in for a lot of those interior spots. But congrats to him. And then also one of their top freshman tight ends, and Deuce Robinson, who also is a baseball player, plays outfield for the baseball team. So they got a dual sport guy to sign with the House of Victory, which is pretty cool, because he obviously could have probably made money just solo off himself and his athletic ability and his name, but decided to sign with House of Victory. It's a pretty cool step for him. Like I said, even Juju Watkins, the top high school quarterback, high school women's basketball player, signed with House of Victory as well. So they're trying to get as many of the top stars as they can in their athletic program into House of Victory, and it's doing good stuff so far. So definitely very happy about that. And then Cameron Fountain, yes, one of the top 4-star defensive ends that USC still has committed to them, has been moving up the ranks quite a bit. He did jump up to like 103 or something like that in the rankings before this, but then he jumped up once again, so he's like number 93 or 95, 95 overall player. So another big time jump. He's now officially a top 100 player. I don't know if he's going to get that 5-star status, but he is definitely looking like one of the more brighter spots out there in their 2024 class. And that's why you don't have to always get the 5-star guys, because these 4-star guys can move up not only in the rankings, because it just shows how good and talented that they are as well. And as I mentioned before, one of the top junior college cornerbacks, Sione Laulea, hopefully I'm saying that correct, he had made like a top 5 or a final 5 recently, but now he's released like a top 3 or final 3, and USC is still in the running, which is good news, because he is one of the better players still left out there in the cycle. And yeah, hopefully they do get him. I don't think they technically need him because of how much talent they have at that corner position, but it would be a nice get to have a little bit of an older veteran type of player on your roster, be able to help with depth or be able to start and teach those younger guys as well. So yeah, either way, could be a good thing for USC next year. And then when it comes to next year, yes, they're finally got a kind of an update on their 2024 recruiting rankings, and they are number 17. So obviously we talked about them being all the way up as high as number 5 or number 4, but now they've dropped back because they lost a couple of commitments, and then they also all those other teams that kept jumping ahead of them got some pretty good guys as well. But there's still chances, like I said. Eddrick Houston later, Sione Lalea could be added to this. Jalen Harvey as well, one of the other defensive ends out there. So this class could be a top 10 class, in my opinion, when it's all said and done, because there are another couple other guys out there, like the linebacker Chris Cole, probably a couple other offensive guys. But either way, this class should be doing just fine when it's all said and done, when 2024 season comes around. And this X account on what used to be called Twitter, the college football blue bloods, they like to give a lot of love to USC, so it kind of pops up in my feed quite a bit. But they did say, according to their standards or evaluations, that the House of Victory or NIL evaluation at USC is considered number one overall, according to them, in all of college football, which is pretty cool. And it's not that bad either, because I know On3 or 247 has ranked the House of Victory collective up there as well as one of the top collectives to be able to make money for these younger people. So yeah, overall it's a nice get to be able to get on a list as well for USC. And then they also put out a list of the top impactful freshmen coming into college, and a lot of them were 5-star players, top 20, top 50 overall guys. But obviously it wasn't surprised that Zachariah Brandt, the wide receiver, was number 1 from USC. But also from USC at number 8, I believe, was the linebacker Tackett Curtis, which is surprising just because he was still only considered a 4-star. I don't know where he ranked officially, number wise. I don't even know if he was a top 100 overall player in last year's cycle. But according to these guys on Twitter or X, they definitely believe he's going to be as impactful as he is. Even though he may not start right away, they probably still believe he's going to end up starting as a true freshman for USC on that defense. So they obviously got a diamond in the rough, as they say. So looking forward to the seasons that these young guys can put out for USC football. And yes, the other day the Chargers did activate their defensive lineman Austin Jones from the PUP list. So I forget if he has 21 days or a month or something like that to be able to be officially put back on the roster. But if they're going to do this right now instead of waiting for a couple of weeks into the season, so they must think that he's going to be ready to go and ready to contribute right away. So it should only take him another week or two. Maybe they're going to try to get him some run in this final preseason game this weekend as well. But yeah, it's an overall good sign, because they're finally adding some more depth because of the lack of depth they had on that defensive line all of last year. And he did get injured pretty early, but yes, luckily he will. Yeah, at least it looks like he's looking healthy to start the year. So overall, it's a good positive thing for the Chargers. And also some miscellaneous news. Yes, I've always wondered, because every time I watch The Mandalorian or some Marvel show on Disney Plus, I don't know if it's my TV or just the app itself. It always seems like whenever it's a dark scene or it's at night or it's very low light in the scene, you could hardly see anything, and it looks really grainy, and it doesn't really show out really good. And it's kind of what's the point? I can't even see really anything that's going on, and it looks all fuzzy and stuff. So I kind of disliked having to watch some good shows like that on Disney Plus over the internet. But it looks like they are going to be releasing some 4K and Blu-ray versions of those first couple of seasons for the Star Wars shows and the Marvel shows as well. So I definitely will be thinking about getting some of those Star Wars ones to be able to enjoy those whenever I want, and without having to go, over the internet and trust that buffering ability. But yeah, definitely looking forward to some of those and how those look like in the future. I don't need a 4K. Blu-ray is still good enough for me. I'm a simpleton, as they say. But yeah, it is today it's 2023, so it's my 33rd birthday to the day. Yeah, freaking old. August 22nd. Yeah, on a Tuesday, so it's pretty hard to get together with all of my family. Some people are still out of town and busy and stuff. It's all good, but I think this Thursday we'll be heading over to downtown Disney here in SoCal. Be able to hang out and have dinner there and have some fun as well around that area. So definitely looking forward to that. And even like tonight / tomorrow, a new Star Wars show, the Ahsoka show, Rosario Dawson starts. So it's a pretty good week. And then even I had it scheduled this Thursday, but I ended up changing it for Friday, where I'm going to be watching the 30-year anniversary of Jurassic Park in 3D at the movies as well. So that's going to be happening Friday, and who knows what's going to happen Saturday or Sunday. But yeah, this is, well, actually, I do know what's going to happen. Saturday is obviously USC football, so I'm pretty much booked up for the rest of this week. Sunday, I could probably finally relax, maybe watch the Chargers. They're probably playing on Saturday as well, so it'll be my full day to chill out and relax. But yeah, either way, definitely an awesome week so far. Definitely looking forward to whatever ends up happening, because it's been a great positive day so far. And yes, sadly, this is the first birthday without my grandmother, so it's always like tough, because you always wondered how it would feel, because I know my brother recently had his birthday and my dad as well, but I didn't really ask them how they felt. But yeah, it kind of hit me pretty hard last night, because just knowing I wasn't going to be able to get a phone call and stuff, so it's tough. And you know, that extra $5 for gas that she would always send and stuff like that. So especially because she had Zelle now, because it was always easier for her to do that. But yeah, definitely missing out on that, but definitely looking forward to the future, what it has in store, and definitely thinking positive vibes here. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. Fight on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Linda. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday for Freud, Magdalena y toda la familia. Que la pase bonito. ¿Cuándo fue? ¿Ayer? ¿Hoy día sí? ¿Aló? Ah, ya. ¿Sí?